Today we'll be talking about Trump and his recent what they call State of the Union address, or what I call it was the State of the Felon address, and the Democrats' lack of reaction to Representative Al Green being expelled. I'm your host, political and cultural critic Sharron, with two R's, and I'm joined today with my lovely co-host, Ms. Kenniss, and you're listening to Seen and Heard podcast.
Peace. 2 N's, 2 S's.
Okay, now let's get into it. And just to be clear, this is not a bashing Dems show. Like Dems are what I've been seeing all over the internet today. There have been people that support the Dems. We support the Dems. We just want them to do better. This is not a bashing Dems type commentary show, but it's a holding our supposed leaders accountable commentary. Does that make any sense? Because like on Don Lemon, like I was watching Don Lemon earlier, and people were in his comments telling him, well, don't bash the Dems, don't bash the Dems. The Dems are not babies, and this is not bashing the Dems. They need to be held accountable just like the Republicans.
So, yeah, right. Last year, the Dems blew up my email. I have more than one email address. They blew them up every day, begging. They start off in the morning asking for $3. Then they get to 5. Then they get to 10. Then they get to 25. I actually had somebody who was running for governor in one of those belt states ask me for $350. I don't know that person from a hole in the wall. So if you're going to have the unmitigated gall and audacity to ask me for money to help you with your campaign, then I feel that it is a quid pro quo. You ask me for money, I have the right to tell you to give you some positive feedback about how I see what you do and what you don't do. So not bashing you, but I am feeling that I have the right to tell you my take on your behavior, be it positive or the lack thereof of energy. Thank you.
And there was a little glimmer of hope. I want to play this clip of Representative Al Green channeling the legendary John Lewis. It's what it looked like to me, because he got expelled last night from the chamber. So I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side.
I would do it again. He should be censured. It's a spectacle that was not necessary. He's made history in a terrible way, and I hope he enjoys it. If they want to make a 77-year-old heckling congressman the face of their resistance, if that's the Democrat Party, so be it.
We have to be willing to suffer the consequences. That's what peaceful protest is about. You get in the way, if you're arrested, then you've got to be willing to suffer the consequences. So I'm not angry with the speaker. I'm not angry with the officers. I'm not upset with the members who are going to bring the motions or resolution to sanction. I will suffer the consequences. But I must add this. What I did was from my heart, but truthfully.
So I have something to say right away, and I can't remember who did it. You may remember when Barack Obama did his State of the Union message, and one of those people on the other side of the aisle, where they're looking to see whether they're going to sanction the Honorable Congressman Al Green, shouted out, "You're a liar." And what did Barack Obama do? He did nothing. He didn't ask for that person to be censured. He did nothing. He sort of acted as if he felt that even though it was a bit not the right venue, but he gave him the benefit of being able to have his say. So again, here we go. when they do it, they expect that it should be sanctioned in a good way, not the way they talk about it on Capitol Hill. They expect that it will be ignored and you're just going with your life. But when we do it, they call for the strictest and the strongest and the most harsh punishment that there is. Man, 77 years old. He has the right to stand up and wave his cane if he chooses to do so. Civil disobedience. He didn't hit anybody with the cane. He didn't knock anybody down. He stood up and he made a statement. No different from, I wish I could remember his name. I should have been more
Joe
prepared.
Wilson. That was Joe Wilson.
Thank you.
Representative Joe Wilson in South Carolina.
Thank you. So here we go again. Mama, they're picking on me. That's that sentiment, and I'm not going for it. Kudos to Congressman Al Green, and if they start to sanction him, I promise you, I will have to call somebody and write some letters, to speak out against it.
And more recently, actually, let me clip this. This is for Representative Al Green.
Yay!
And more recently, we had a bleach blonde, bad built, butch body Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the same thing in Biden, a Biden speech. And Biden did not have her censored. Biden didn't have her kicked out. She's standing there in the chambers, yelling and disgracing the chambers, trying to embarrass Biden. But she didn't get censored or kicked out.
We'll see what happens, because censure is really strong. And if you want to sanction him, smack him on the back of his hand, go on. He's 77 years old. But when you start talking about, this process of censoring and all this other stuff, that's overkill. And
I'm going to show this picture here. This is kind of iconic. This was from last night in the chambers. That's actually kind of cool picture there. But that was him, not standing down, not backing down.
Well, what's iconic about it, let's just go ahead and be for real here. What's iconic about it is that it is a room full, to the extent that I can see, a room full of white faces, white male faces, and it looks like 3 white female faces. And I hate using the word white, but I'm going to use it just because of the message I'm trying to deliver. In this country where we have a melting pot, all I see are white male faces and 3 females who I don't know what their role is, but whatever their role is, they're out of place there, because I know they have to raise their hand and ask permission to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So again, kudos to Congressman Green.
Yay, Congressman Green. We'll give him another round of applause here. So there was also Mr. Man Baby decided to say that he wants to make English the official language. Well, this is what I have to say. Xing Chao, okay? And that's hello in Vietnamese. Kamusta? That's hello in Tagalog. Annyeonghaseyo. That's Korean. I don't know, my pronunciation isn't that good. Ohayo gozaimasu, or konnichiwa. And that's hello in Japanese. So he could barely speak English himself. So I don't know.
The man is a high school dropout. It's just been covered up. That's all.
So that's what I have to say to that, because I'm learning other languages just to speak in. I'm a blue dot in a red state, so just to speak it out in public. You know how they like to get on to people, say you got to speak English here. Okay.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to foreign countries, they don't tell me that I have to speak French. I already know I have to speak French. And if I
Mm-hmm.
don't speak it, then, I have to have somebody around me who does speak it. Or if I had to speak Spanish, I have to have somebody around me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to call the country. I was in a country a few years ago, and they did not act as if they wanted to even attempt to speak English. And they would stand and stare at you. So, what's the big deal? I mean, who cares whether you speak English or not?
English is not the center of the universe, but point being, he can barely speak English himself. So
That's
we're
why he's a repeater. He'll
mm-hmm,
say, "It was great, really
mm-hmm.
great, really, really great, really, really, really great." Yo,
Bigly.
you already said it was great. You already said it was great. So now, just because you ran out of words, your well has run dry. You can now say it was great. It was really great. I mean, it was really, really great. It was great, really, really great. Do you agree? No,
he is he's a bore. He
a
is a bore.
bore.
He is a bore.
He lacks communication skills. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, no matter how you felt about President Obama, I got joy out of listening to President Obama speak. Also, the same goes with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Okay, no matter how you feel about Justin Trudeau, he actually talked about some kind of physics problem or video years ago, and I watched that video, and he was going into details about the mechanics of biochemistry or something like that. I've never taken biochemistry, but I actually understood what he was talking about. My brain likes to be challenged. It likes the tingle of intelligence, not whatever Trump and the people that support him, whatever this is.
So if that's the case, there are a couple of others. I really like when he speaks English. Matter of fact, I didn't think the man could speak English. Ibrahim Traore. I heard him speak today. Oh my God, what an amazing person! He was speaking so well. I was like, oh my God, this man speaks English, and he does it very well. So he is somebody that I like to hear speak. Another one that I like to hear speak is Prof. PLO Lumumba from
Mm-hmm.
Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is very, 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 very adept in how he handles the language, and he speaks English and you can understand. He's an educator. He explains what he's talking about, and he carries it to the next level. So we're not just going to talk about on this side and people
Mm-hmm.
who are articulate. We're going to talk
Right.
about people across the pond who also are articulate.
Now, I think I may be wrong, and if I am, but I believe that Zelensky, he did not know how to speak English before the war started.
Oh,
Before
really?
he was attacked, or I heard somewhere where he actually learned English so he could speak to the leaders here. But he didn't speak English before that. So yeah,
Well,
he's a newbie too, but he speaks better than Trump. And he's
yeah. But I can't give him any kudos, because I really didn't want him to send some message talking about he was willing to allow himself to study and to place himself up under Trump. Oh Jesus!
Oh, I heard that this morning where
Oh
he's
my
coming.
God!
Is he coming with France and the UK to renegotiate or talk about it?
Yeah, he's doing some
Ah, that was upsetting.
conciliatory. He's doing some sort of conciliatory something or another.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Zelensky. Don't do it. God.
And Trump is saying, see, he recognized he had to come and play with us because he didn't have no other choice but to come back to the United States. Well, he unfortunately, since the UN sided with Russia, I don't understand how that happened, so I can't even talk on it.
Mm-hmm.
In the European countries, they're all confused because I thought the European countries were going to back him and find the funding for him to be able to
Oh, right. I mean, that was
and
the first day. That was
yes,
like a
that was the
big,
first day.
yeah.
So then all of a sudden it's bellied up and I don't know what's going on. But he issued that conciliatory letter though.
I saw that or heard that this morning. I was just like, oh
That's right.
no.
Dude, you were my hero.
No, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, we're not going to give credit also to I'll just say Trump. I've never used the P word. So the news today decides Newsweek. This is just one headline. Donald Trump's, well, they didn't even use the P word. Donald Trump's Congress speech was a huge hit with Americans. No, it was not, because there were people like me that didn't watch it, millions of us. They actually did a 24-hour state of the people all over YouTube yesterday with the black leaders and black creators. And so I actually recorded some of that, and then I watched a lot of that. They did it for 24 hours in place of his union speech. But I wanted to pull this up to show how this is not the facts here. We're not going to do this. So this one here, let me see, it's this one. Okay. So they say that 51% all approve, 49% disapprove. Okay, but who are they polling? We're going to show who they're polling to show such high percentage. It's not the vast majority of Americans. So, especially the people that are in other countries that watch this is why I'm pulling this up, because this is propaganda. So this is how they try to trick you. Out of all of those they polled, it was 54% Republican. So, no matter what the mainstream media says, the vast majority of people do not support Trump and his regime.
So, gotta jump in. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
In November, 52% of all white women, God, I hate that phrase, 52% of all Euro-American women voted for Donald Trump. His first term, 53% voted for Donald Trump. So, two ways I would look at this. That 54% is kind of where it should be. And you had 55% of all Latino men who voted for Donald Trump this past election. 44% of the entire Latino community voted for him. So that 54% is actually accurate of those people who voted for him. And relatively speaking, and I'm talking because when I was in grad school in Temple, I had this amazing class, statistics class, how to lie with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best class I've ever taken in my life, that shows you exactly what TV stations and radio stations and media and all those other people do when they want to sell something, not necessarily sell a dress, but to sell news or an event or whatever. So when they said the majority, well, in comparison to the 19% of Dems who did, that is a majority. So I'm not going to disagree with what they say. What would have been interesting is, or better would have been to have said 54% of all Republicans polled watched it, as opposed to 19% of all Democrats who, were polled who watched it. Because when you add up the numbers, they almost do come up to be about almost 100%. I can't remember the independent number. So, I'm okay with it. I really am okay with it because I recognize that all they did was just lie with statistics.
But yeah, so basically, like you said, that's because for that demographic, because that's why I would to make a point. The majority of us do not support the shenanigans and the kabuki theater that's going on over here. And so on that, we're going to close out with a message to vets. I saw a friend of mine post earlier that vets are having trouble because they've closed down the departments for Veterans Affairs or the veteran hotlines. And he said that several of like a close friend of his decided to self-delete themselves. So you have to watch what you say. So they self-deleted. And there's several, like a epidemic of self-deleting among the veteran community. So what we have here is a call to action for the veterans that have no more hotline. If you don't have a veteran hotline, Miss Kenniss came up with a good idea. So here we go. Take it away, Miss Kenniss.
So, the White House VA hotline is fully operational 365 days a year, 24/7. And if they've taken away your VA hotline from the Veterans Administration, the White House has its own VA hotline. In 2019, that year, they fielded over 250,000 calls. So I challenge you, instead of self-deleting, call the White House VA hotline. And if you need to talk to them every day, call them every day. You need to talk to them every hour, call them every hour. They are there, and they get paid to be there. The number is 1-855-948-2311. The White House VA hotline number is 1-855-948-2311. Light them up.
And we also have the Bing.
If you also feel that that's not enough, call the White House Switchboard. They're there. Now, they're not there 365 days, 24/7, but they are there. So you can call the White House Switchboard. That number is 202-456-1414. That one, you can talk to somebody when they're there. 202-456-1414. That's your call to action. Now, if you want to leave some comments, the White House even has a comment line. Check it out. 202-456-1111. You can call and leave them a comment, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But do not self-delete. Here are 3 ways you can vent and get the stuff off your chest. And then inhale, exhale, and feel good. Yeah. No, we ain't self-deleting.
That's right.
We are going to take advantage of those services. And if you find out that you called the VA hotline and somebody was less than professional with you, or they were short with you, or they were abrupt with you, reach us back. Let us know. Because I want to say to you, my vets, thank you for your service. And those people who answer that VA hotline, they need to say the same thing, and they need to act as if they do appreciate you in the service. If they don't appreciate you, then they act like they don't appreciate you. Let us know.
Yes, we will mention it on the show. Come back to this video. If you're shy, leave it in the comments, and we'll read off your comment. And as well, so if you do like our show, everybody else, if you like our show, leave us a comment, leave us a voicemail. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, share, because that helps the algorithm. That helps get our message and the video out to more people. And if you would like to support, please go to the links. We'll have the links in the description as well. So there's a Cash App there. And we also have GoFundMe. Help us meet our goal at the GoFundMe. And again, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget. And let us know what your thoughts are. We have a voicemail link. We'll have that in the description. So you go to that voicemail link, leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show, and leave us a comment. We'll read it on the show. So on that, we will conclude until we see you on the next broadcast. Thank you, Miss Kenniss.
Peace if you're willing to
Thank
work
you,
for it.
everybody. Bye.